Who's doing the intro?
I'm Derek.
I'm Scott.
And I'm Tony.
This is Whiskeynosesmoke with Capital Cigar Lounge.
The owner of Capital Cigar Lounge.
Owner and partner.
Our first special guest appearance. And he supplied us with the old Rip Van Winkle that he honestly forgot he had.
I did. It was given to me for a birthday gift a couple of years ago. And man, listen, it's always great to share pappy with friends.
It absolutely is.
Yeah.
Whiskey with friends.
Whiskey with friends.
Any whiskey.
And I got an old school Sage Advice by Archetype. I'm gonna cut it and light it because I know it's gonna pair well with this pappy Van Winkle.
That's going to pair exceptionally well.
Yes, indeed.
Tony was gracious enough to supply the pappy and wanted to be in this video.
Yeah.
So, to return the favor, I gave him the no longer findable Sage Advice by Archetype.
That's right.
I can't believe that brand went under.
Oh man,
I don't
It's
know.
so sad.
It was one of the best.
one of the best, man. Listen, and now it's exclusive. So when I light this, I'm gonna take my time, just toast it a little bit like a marshmallow. Lighting a cigar is an art.
Yes,
You
it
know,
is.
you light it too fast. Sometimes you use a hard flame. You change the flavor. You light and pull at the same time. You pull that flame into the cigar. It causes it to canoe, causes it to overheat. But when you just toast it really slowly till you get that little white edge,
Basically, respect your cigars.
respect the cigar. Respect her.
Got to treat it like a woman.
Nobody
like a woman,
wants
respect
a black and burnt marshmallow. You want it nice and golden brown,
Nice.
just like you want your cigar.
That's right. Absolutely.
So you've been smoking cigars for how long, Tony?
About 30 years, man.
30 years?
Yeah, 30 years.
What got you started into smoking cigars?
You know, my cousin Dave Goins. So, Dave used to enjoy cigars.
Okay.
We lived together, me, Dave, and my cousin Big Alan Goins. We lived together in Chesapeake, Virginia. And Dave was enjoying a cigar one day, and he gave me one. And man, the rest is history. Yeah, and then my grandfather used to chew cigars. He chewed Swisher Sweets.
Yeah.
And at the end of each night, my grandfather would light up that Swisher Sweet. On Sundays, he would smoke a pipe, Kenneth Goins. But he chewed his cigar, but he would light that same cigar at night. I watched him do that, and then my cousin David Goins and Alan Goins, they introduced me to the fine art of the leaf early in life. And so 30 years later, you know, it's still a passion. It's part of who I am.
So much like sharing whiskey, sharing cigars is a family affair for you.
It is.
Yes.
It sure is.
So we know that you haven't always been the biggest fan of bourbon, but you've always been a fan of whiskey of some sort, right?
I started off with cognac, and back in, I think, 2000, I had my first scotch, which was a Balvenie 12.
Very good.
Started
First
very
scotch.
close up to the top there, huh?
I did a Balvenie 12, and after I had that Balvenie 12, I don't think I've had another cognac since. I fell in love with scotch at that point.
I can't say I've ever had a cognac in my life.
I had
so.
Hypnotic when I was young, and I got sick off of it many a times when I was in the army.
Hypnotic.
When I was in the army,
Oh,
many
man.
a times.
I remember that Hypnotic.
Oh.
Man. You bringing back some old days.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
So we talked about your first experience ever with bourbon. You don't even really count with Maker's Mark.
Yeah.
And you were not a fan, least to say.
I went through life. I had that. I tasted a Maker's Mark, and listen, no offense to Maker's Mark, you know, but I tasted it back in 1997, and I just flat out didn't like it.
Hey.
So I went through life saying I don't like bourbon.
Well, the thing is, you don't have to say no offense on our channel, I don't think, because, you know, what do we have at Capital Cigar Lounge? Probably 50 different bottles of liquor
We do.
to 100.
Yeah.
Everybody's palate's different. That's why they
Sure.
make different things. You're not going to like everything.
Not gonna like
You know,
everything.
Derek and I, we like Old Forester 100 proof, just neat in a glass, and you do not.
I do not.
You
Yes.
do not.
Not a
So,
yeah, no.
everyone has different tastes, but what was the bourbon that changed your mind?
Well, when Austin and I decided to open this business, we had Brylan Brown and Justin Barnett, and you know, I did basically the purchases of the Scotch because I know Scotch.
Mm-hmm.
And I mentioned to those guys, I don't really like bourbon, I don't know what to get and all this kind of stuff. And so they gave me an Eagle Rare.
10-year, right?
10-year Eagle Rare.
Mm.
And I remember I tasted it that night. It was down at JTK, and we were doing kind of this initial run of what we were going to do when we opened Capitol. And I tasted that 10-year Eagle Rare, and the angel started singing.
It's my favorite bourbon.
I said, life is good.
That is a same distillery as Pappy Van Winkle.
Is that so?
Buffalo Trace
Buffalo
Distillery.
Trace.
Makes
I did not
Eagle
know
Rare.
I didn't
Yep.
know.
Makes Weller. Makes
C.H. Taylor,
Colonel Taylor, Blanton's, and Buffalo
Elmer
Trace.
T. Lee,
Elmer T. Lee.
Sazerac,
Owns
Rye.
them all. Buffalo Trace
So I was
Distillery.
in the right family then.
Yes,
You
you
are.
were.
That is one of the most sought after distilleries there is right now. I mean, even their budget line of Buffalo Trace is hard to find from time to time.
Wow. Amazing.
Yes, it is.
And so we were just doing a little bit of research on this. Apparently, they only release between all 6 different variations of Pappy, because there's 6 different. There's the 10, the 12, the 20, 23, 15. Sorry, I skipped the 15.
Family Reserve.
And Family Reserve.
Okay.
84,000 bottles a year. That's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Between
Out of
6
all of it.
variations
For the entire world.
Yes.
for the entire world of Pappy Van Winkle.
Yes.
84,000 bottles.
Man, I wish I could remember who gave me this for my birthday, because that's pretty special.
It's very special.
Yeah.
It's a very special gift. The mash bills are the same from this bottle are the same for a line of like 12 different whiskeys. They use the same, but the best barrels get turned into Pappy.
Pappy. That's the way that it works. Literally, the master distiller will go, or the head distiller will literally show up. They will take samples off of every single barrel.
Okay.
The best barrel goes into Pappy bottles.
And now we tell Tony he's probably not going to share anymore with us.
Yeah.
Well, yes, I am too. You guys are my friends, man.
But,
what makes it the best barrel? Like, what when you say
Based
the
on
best barrel?
taste, like, because they're master sommeliers. So at that point in their careers, and it's their job to be able to find just the individual tasting notes and stuff along those lines, to whereas that's their job. They make the whiskey. They know exactly what it's supposed to taste off, based off hundreds of years of that recipe being passed down.
Wow.
So they understand exactly, and they will literally compare it side by side.
Wow.
Blame him on that.
The MSRP for this bottle, if you were to buy it from the distillery, is $60.
Is that all?
Yes. The average secondary
Good luck
price
finding it
is
for that price.
$400. It is that difficult and that well sought after. So the proof, it's 107 proof
Should
or
we put ice on it?
53. Nope.
If you want ice,
Oh,
we can go
yeah,
get
if
you
you
a
want
cup
ice,
of
I'll
ice
get
for
you
sure.
some ice.
No. Listen, man. I'm
Say-
with the purists.
Okay. Okay.
So when Derek and I actually introduce ourselves to a new whiskey, what we always do is we always try it neat.
Okay.
And then we usually have an eyedropper, add a couple drops of water.
Okay.
Because what that'll do is it'll dissipate all the oils, because water and oil separate, so all the oil will come to the top.
Okay.
And you'll get the most intense flavor of everything. You won't get the alcohol, but you get all the flavor out of it. And then if we think we need to go further, we'll add more water or ice. But we always start just neat, and 9 times out of 10, that's the way Derek and I like it. You know, Derek and I are high proof bourbon drinkers. You've seen some of the stuff.
I have.
115, 130 proofs. Or
Yes.
You guys are grown men.
I wouldn't
Well,
say
we got the hair.
Yeah, you grown men.
Well,
Look at that. I ain't got no hair, man.
I don't think your job allows you to have a
Step
beard,
my
does
game
it?
up.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
Well, let's drink this.
All right, let's do it, man.
We keep talking about it. I'm salivating over here.
Oh my goodness. Let's do it.
We'll be gentle on the pour
Very
since it's
gentle.
not our
Alright.
bottle.
No, man, you do what you do.
No.
That's
last time
plenty.
someone told me do what I do, I poured like 3 ounces of 115 proof Penelope, and we had to scrap that video because we got a little loopy. We had to just delete it.
Delete it. Thank
And
you,
there you
sir.
go. So,
To the Capitol Cigar Lounge.
absolutely.
Cheers.
To Tony Goins.
Tony Goins.
Oh my.
That's special.
I definitely picking up And you're still not a huge bourbon guy, right? You still prefer your Scotch.
I do, but I like the sweetness of a bourbon, though.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure out.
I agree with you. You're
I
going to be
definitely
tasting.
got cherry, dark cherry on the end.
Okay.
Maybe a plum.
I think plum.
Plum, dark cherry.
I taste the plum.
For 107 proof, it's nice and light and oily.
And it doesn't feel like it's punching up for it being 107 proof, which is pretty nice, especially once you break past that 100 proof line.
Man, that's special.
That is special.
That's very special.
That's why we were super excited when we
That
found the
is
bottle.
so special.
Yes.
You know what? It kind of reminds me of the Eagle Rare.
I believe it's the same mash bill. I believe Eagle Rare falls under the same mash bill.
The
does it not?
10-year. I know the
We'll have
Thomas
to do our
Handy.
research.
I know that. Yeah.
It reminds me of it.
Well, you're getting that heavy vanilla on the nose. If you
Yeah.
go back and revisit it, just like on Eagle Rare, that 10-year, you're going to get heavy
It smells
vanilla
a lot
on the nose.
like Eagle Rare.
Real heavy vanilla.
But then again, so just a little feed, because Derek and I are very much whiskey nerds. I don't think Tony dives into the research quite like we do.
I don't.
But there's not really like cherry or vanilla in the mixture. There's not. It's corn. This one doesn't have any rye in it. It's malted barley and it's wheat.
Roughly about 15% is what they're guessing.
About 15% wheat.
Yeah.
Okay.
But the aging with the oak and stuff, it brings those. So what your brain is doing.
New oak barrels, right?
Yes, new oak.
New
Has to
oak.
be new oak to be a bourbon.
Okay.
So your brain is associating these smells with something you've had previously.
Okay.
And if you haven't had it previously, like if you've never had a plum in your life, your brain cannot recall that, if
Okay.
that makes sense.
So
Yeah.
it'll go to cherries or another dark
Like
fruit.
another dark fruit. So that's why I always like to say dark fruit, something vague, and then I'll...
I'm probably
Go into
tasting
that.
cherries in because I like
Okay.
cherries.
Yeah, no,
I
it's
do.
for me, the first
Especially
thing
my
is...
old-fashioned.
Well, and it's
Yeah.
not like exactly. It's like that cordial cherry.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And the thing is like you can really just dive your nose into it with anything over 100 proof. Usually when you dive your nose into it, you just get burnt and stung with that alcohol. This is very mild on the nose, which is why I paired it with the Jake Wyatt Appendix 2, a very nice mild creamy cigar.
Oh yeah.
And I was a little worried about giving you that one because I thought that Sage Advice might overtake the whiskey, but I know how much you love
not
it.
doing it.
I know how much you
that,
love it.
that Crux Stew connoisseur number 2.
Oh my goodness. Come on now.
Mhm.
You're preaching now.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to Jeff Hogan and Crux, man.
Oh yeah.
Big shout out.
Special things to come for Capital Cigar with them in the future. We'll bring that up in the future.
We will. Absolutely.
Alrighty. So now, after having a nice dram of this, do you believe that it's worth the hype of Pappy Van Winkle for it being a $60 retail bottle to a $400 secondary market bottle?
You know what I do?
You do?
I do.
Okay.
I do. It's that special. I mean,
It's
it really
very
is.
special.
It's that special. I
Yes.
can see that.
Okay.
I
Scott,
co-sign.
you?
I know on the car ride here, I was talking to Derek because it's basically all we talk about anymore is whiskey and cigars.
All we talk about
Our
now.
wives and girlfriends hate it.
They hate it.
They usually kick us outside.
Mm-hmm.
I said, at least you know where I am.
That's right.
I'm not out chasing things I shouldn't be chasing.
That's right. That's right.
But I told
Could be a lot
Derek,
worse going on.
It
in
could
life.
be. These
I-
are good vices.
These are good vices.
good
These are good
vices
vices.
were with one of the most powerful guys in Lincoln, Nebraska, knows everybody.
Well, this is what I
I
say.
wouldn't say
Listen,
powerful, but the most. I'm going to say this that, and I put a Facebook post on today to try and find more help here at Capitol because everybody's looking for help.
Yeah.
Tony is one of the best people to work for.
He is one of the nicest people you'll ever meet in your
Well,
This
entire
man
life.
dressed in a suit will come in on a Friday night busy, see us slammed, and he will empty ashtrays for us.
He's literally
That is the
delivered,
man.
poured and delivered beers for me when I was busy and I was by
Tony
myself.
is the
That's what I'm supposed to
definition
do.
of a leader, not a boss.
Well, at the end of the day, we all wear the same jersey.
We
That's
sure
the
do.
Capital Cigar Lounge jersey.
Mhm.
Yes, sir.
And we all teammates.
Yes, sir.
And you know, Derek, you and I served in the military.
Yes, sir.
And that's the way we look at it.
Yes, sir.
You know, you can have, I was 3 stripes up, cross rifles in the middle, which is a sergeant.
Mm.
But my E1s, privates, my PFCs, my Lance Corps, and my corporals, we got the job done together.
Yes, sir.
And that's the way I look at what we do here. We get the job done together.
Yes.
you get the job done together, you have the right cohesiveness and the right chemistry and the right esprit de corps. And
Everybody
teamwork.
having the right frame of mind
Right
going
frame of
into it.
mind, that's what you
Absolutely.
do.
Yes, sir.
So we are looking for another teammate.
Yep.
They got to fit into our culture.
Yes, they do.
Yep.
And understand that this is the way we operate.
Yes.
This is not a bar, it's not
It's
a lounge, it's
team.
a business.
Yes, it
It's
is.
teamwork.
And it's relationships.
Hashtag.
Hashtag
Relationships matter.
relationships matter.
Yes, they
It
do.
does.
You know, and this is what I say. You know, you got all this conversation about all this stuff. What I say is, listen, when you spend time with people, you actually find out you have more in common than you do apart.
That's very true.
I think cigars and a good whiskey is the best diversity plant on the planet.
Yes. Not only that, but if it's a bad person after a couple whiskeys, you're probably going to find out.
You're going to find out.
Yeah, and then you're
That's
like,
right.
hey, I don't want to be with that person anymore,
That's
and then
right.
you ghost. Otherwise, you
That's
just
right.
kind of embrace each other after
You
that
really
point,
do.
you know?
You really do. You really do. I mean, if people were to sit down and spend time together, and that's what a cigar and a whiskey, it causes you to slow down.
It
Life
does.
moves so fast. Social media causes life to move really fast
Mhm.
because everything is about a text message and a tweet.
Clickbait,
Click,
yeah.
text message,
Yeah.
tweet. There's no emotion. You can't get this in a text message.
No.
But when you have a good cigar and a good whiskey, you slow down.
You absolutely do.
And when you slow down, you find out you have more in common than you do apart.
You absolutely do.
And what's better than that? I mean,
There's nothing better.
that's right.
But
And a Pappy Van Winkle on top of it.
oh,
Come on, man.
I drank mine.
Cheers. Hey, get your nose.
Oh,
no, you can't toast on an empty glass. Come on,
I
Scott.
don't want to be greedy.
Greedy is not a word in our vocabulary. Not here.
It is in mine.
There we go.
Appreciate it.
That's a lot better. Cheers.
I don't know that I'd be willing to pay the $400 price for it,
You wouldn't?
but I think I would be willing to pay 2 to 3 times, so $120 to $180 for a bottle.
But that goes back to the conversation we had before we started shooting, living within your means.
Yes,
You know?
there's so
Could
many.
you find that for $180?
I think I could because I have relationships with liquor store owners
Oh.
who don't charge those.
Sure.
And
sure.
we do free advertising for them.
We do? Yeah, absolutely.
Whiskey No
Yeah,
Smoke.
yeah,
we do
we
free
do.
advertising.
I love
So
it.
anytime, and we
Support
told them to
local.
begin with, we said we love to support local. That's the biggest thing.
Absolutely.
Is I hate shopping on Amazon.
I do too.
I'm sorry. I do not go to Walmart. I refuse.
I don't either. I like
Self
Target.
checkout. He won't even
Yeah.
do self checkout.
Yeah, I do have a Sam's Club membership. I always get the question.
self-checkout.
I always get the question from somebody in a blue or green vest at Sam's. They say, "Hey, instead of waiting, self checkout's open." I said, "I'm sorry, I don't work here. I'm not taking their job
Yeah.
Thank you.
because
Yeah.
that's what self
Thank you.
checkout does."
Thank you. I'm with you. I don't
Support
self-checkout
local.
either.
But there's just so many other. I can buy 4 to 8 bottles of really good whiskey for $400.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I found the Pappy
I'm gonna take just a little-
23 year,
Just a little baby sniff off that.
the 23 year, maybe I'd spend 400 because
let me
that
ask
is
you
a $270 bottle MSRP.
So let me ask you this. What is the real difference, in your opinion, you two guys, between this 10 and the 23? I know it's aged longer, but
It's just age, and
So-
honestly, we can't answer it because I've
Psychologically,
never tasted it.
I've never had
Me
it,
either.
but if I were to guess what it would be the amount of alcohol that's actually in it, which is actually what raises it, because they
Okay.
call it the angel's share.
Okay.
So what happens over time is that whiskey bows, it comes in and out of the barrel. The barrels breathe.
Okay.
So they call it the angel's share that evaporates through the wood. So it's a very limited, because they've opened up those 23-year casks
Okay.
and there's bone dry.
what?
Yes, bone dry. They're constantly leaking all over the floor. It's crazy.
That's also a bad barrel maker too.
But,
um,
after 23
but
years
also-
of hot, cold,
also
hot,
a price.
it happens
Wow.
a
The
lot.
The price
It's
difference.
amazing.
Yes.
Just the price difference is they've held on to it from 10, so an extra 13 years that they just hold on to it, not making any money. Just like Lefroy has a 27-year release, that most Lafroig 10 fans don't care for. Because
Right
one, you're a Lafroig 10 fan and you want that super smoky, peaty, briny.
Mm-hmm.
When you age it past 20 years, it starts mellowing out. Well, they like that punch in the face.
And it starts going more to the sherry side.
At a certain point,
Yeah.
some companies will just be like, we've held onto this barrel so long, we're just going to release it and put the age statement on it.
Wow.
So a lot of it, age and price does not necessarily mean it's better.
That's
Does.
amazing. Okay.
Yes.
It's just the way it works.
That
I mean,
being said,
like I
though,
said,
that
they're-
Black Arts,
I'm 100% in for
that 26-year-old we got on the bar.
Oh yeah.
I'll
I'll
be
tell you
buying
what.
that.
Pump for that.
I'm going to happen to be on the 25th of September. I'm going to be in the birthplace, I presume, of bourbon. I'm going to be in Kentucky.
Yeah.
On 25th of September.
25th. I'm going to see a guy by the name of Justin Sloan.
We just read an article today by Justin Sloan. I don't know if it was by him, but it was on the Bourbon Review.
Yep, he's a dear friend. He's a personal friend. My friend, shout out to Justin Sloan.
Buffalo Trace Distillery.
My little niece Charlie, his daughter.
So
I want to be with Justin, and I'm gonna get a bottle of Pappy 20 blend, bring it back for you guys.
What?
For you guys, I'm gonna get a bottle of Pappy 23. I'm bringing it back here.
So
And listen, we're gonna crack it together.
Yes.
So
Maybe we do another show. We're gonna crack it.
We're gonna do another
All
show.
of Pappy
If you
23.
bring that,
I'm
we
telling
will.
you now, I'm gonna do it because he's got it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got
The largest bourbon
Collection.
privately
Privately
owned
owned collection in the world.
that's
Yes.
So
crazy.
he's got. When this is over, I'm gonna show you some pictures of all Pappy he has. He's got Pappy that the labels have started to discolor
Because they're that old.
because they're that old.
Oh.
So I shared an article with Derek today. I don't know if Justin Sloan himself wrote it, but it was by the Bourbon Review.
Mm-hmm.
Buffalo Trace just invested $1.2 billion into their distillery.
Into their
to
distillery.
produce more.
Wow.
Their goal is to produce twice as much every single year.
But what's that gonna do to the quality of?
They want it to be the exact
They're doing
same.
it slow because this isn't going to take
I'm
place.
concerned about that.
This isn't going to take place until 2022 or 2024 to be finished.
Okay.
Because they want to do it slow because they refuse. They say they refuse to lack the quality for quantity.
Okay.
When Pappy blew up about 10, 15 years ago, bourbon started blowing up.
Mm-hmm.
You know, 20 years ago, you couldn't sell a bottle of bourbon. Talking to all our guys that have been in the liquor store industries and stuff, bourbon's a new craze. It really is. It's really a new craze.
And you know the thing about it is, quite frankly, it's more economical than Scotch.
Oh yeah.
The average bottle of bourbon is much less than the average bottle of Scotch.
Yes.
Much less.
Yes.
Well, for me, a good bottle of Scotch, the average, about $50.
$50.
Not much Scotch under $50 is worth the time of day.
No, it's not.
That's not worth the time of day, but you can find a lot of good bourbon. Eagle Rare, $35.
$35.
Yeah. for
Yes, sir.
Eagle Rare.
Blanton's used to be pallets of it at Costco for $35 a bottle.
For Blanton's?
Yes, sir.
Blanton's. You used to be able to find it everywhere.
Yes,
Then
sir.
it blew up.
And it had to do with the Pappygate
Yep.
because it was another one of those bottles getting sold, just like Eagle Rare, Blanton's, Buffalo Trace. Everything that was underneath that Buffalo Trace umbrella.
Sure.
All of a sudden, well, what's that? I've never had that before.
Right.
Thank you
Absolutely.
for
Thank you,
allowing
guys.
us.
To drink
Absolutely.
and joining us. I
Happy.
know you have a very
Absolutely.
busy schedule,
Absolutely.
and I know your wife is probably wondering where the heck you are right now.
Yeah, I'm just going. She probably pinging me, but she knows where I am.
Shout out to Ken's Kegs, Cornhusker Bottle Shop, and the only place where relationships matter,
Not the only place.
Capital Cigar Lounge.
That's
Hashtag
right.
Hashtag
Hashtag.
relationships matter.